Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. With this week, the Wrestlemania Access Premium VIP as well as VIP list was released from WWE today, as well as when the Wrestlemania sessions were going to be. I know that there was a little bit of a controversy that people were saying that Wrestlemania Access was no longer going to be held on Thursday. It is going to be held on Thursday. That was the day that is my favorite day to go, just for the one reason of a lot of people don't get into town until Wednesday, and Thursday seemed to be the one session you could always count on a lot less people being there. One tip that I can give you if you want to get as many autographs and as many pictures as you can, there's two sessions. The Thursday session is the first session. You have to get there a day early. Like if you're using the Wrestlemania package, your hotel doesn't start until Friday, but we've always found out it's easier to get into town on Wednesday, get settled in. You can sort of find things around town, maybe take a trip to Walmart and pick up some snacks, and you're not really crunched on time to the point you get there. You automatically have to get your hotel, check in, throw your bags down, and basically get out on the town to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck. You spend a little bit more for the hotel, but in the long run, you have a good time. But Thursday and the Saturday, which runs, the session which runs Saturday night seems to be the sessions that don't really have a lot of people in them, because people tend to really want to go to the Hall of Fame to see people like Sting get inducted. People get a little bit mixed up on what's general admission, what's VIP, and what's VIP. When it comes down to it, VIPs, I believe they're going for $100. I think that the premium VIPs are going for about $180. This year I don't really have a lot of, I don't really feel like, I don't even know if I'm going to go to Access, to be 100% honest with you guys. But I do think that I'll try my best to get into Access at least once, for the one reason of it's really fun to see the memorabilia. Definitely it's fun to really get to meet some performers, even if you're not meeting a Randy Orton or a Seth Rollins or a John Cena. It's really cool to go to the NXT line and talk to the superstars of tomorrow, or maybe even get a picture with like an Eric Rowan or Kalisto or somebody like that. One tip that I can give you is I've been to the Wrestlemania Access session, which happens on the day of Wrestlemania. If you happen to go on Sunday, it tends to be a lot of guys that aren't on the Wrestlemania card. So it sort of shows you that it's a lot of the lesser talent who don't have a lot to do that day. Maybe they already know that guys are getting eliminated from the pre-show battle royal, and it's not really that big of a deal, so they put them in Access. And I the one session that I did do, a lot of the guys worked double duty, where basically they worked at one booth, and then only after 2 hours, that they're excused, but they just were basically moved from that one booth to another booth, and the name value dropped a lot for those things. But people always ask, if I have a VIP, do I need a general admission? Basically, all three tickets get you into Access. With a VIP or a premium VIP, the only exclusion is that you get to go meet that performer. If you have a ticket for, I don't have the listings in front of me, but let's say like, I know I believe on Saturday, like Alberto Del Rio is a VIP, Kevin Owens is a VIP. If you buy the Kevin Owens VIP, you get to meet Kevin Owens. But because you're a VIP doesn't mean that you get to meet Kevin Owens and Alberto Del Rio, because they're both VIPs. You can only meet that specific person, and people with general admission tickets cannot meet that person. They're excluded to only those number of people who wanted to buy the $100 ticket to meet them. There is a tip that I can give you. Last year when I went to Wrestlemania Access, I didn't really want to meet Ric Flair, but the people who buy the VIPs and the premium VIPs get into Access before the general admission people. So basically, I looked at it as I could buy a $50 ticket to get into Access or I could buy $100 ticket to get into Access. I paid $50 extra to get that extra time to get into Access and figure out where I wanted to go. I wasted it. I went to the wrong line. I really wanted to get a picture in the elimination chamber, but I also really wanted to meet Paige, but I wasn't sure where Paige was going to be because they didn't load up the Wrestlemania app yet, because I think it was the first session and they were running a little bit behind. And I knew she was going to be at that E-Entertainment booth, but I didn't really know, so I didn't want to get into a bad line, so I went and did the one thing that I wanted to do, which was get the picture in the chamber, which ended up being the primetime players. And, you know, maybe it wasn't the biggest thing to do, but at least the first thing that I got to do, you know, wasn't I wasn't in the back of the line. And so that's probably one tip that I can give you about getting a VIP over a general admission ticket. And when it comes down to it, you know, if I would have got to meet Paige, she would have been my VIP, and it would have just been a plus to get in the Ric Flair line. Because if you get a VIP or a premium VIP, what I've noticed that most people do is they get in and they go exactly to the line that they want to go to first, whether if that's meeting somebody like Dolph Ziggler, somebody like Paige, somebody like the Wyatts, were big highlights of WrestleMania 30, that the people wanted to see them first. And then you go get in your VIP line, or if even you can use the Ravi technique, is you basically wait until they're kicking you out of Access, and then you're like, oh, I need to go meet Roman Reigns, I have a VIP ticket. Then they'll put you in the back of the line because he's going to make sure he signs for all of those people that have VIP tickets. So you always get what you want. But basically, you know, some people don't understand the sessions. If you go on, I believe, Thursday, Friday, or Sunday, they only have one session on those days. But Saturday, they have 3 sessions. So if you buy an Access ticket for session number 1, which I believe is like from 8 to, I'm not 100% sure, and I apologize if I'm wrong. I think it goes from 4-hour blocks from 8 to 12, 1 to 5, and 6 to 10. You know, basically, if you buy a morning ticket from 8 to 5, you do not get to stay there all day. After 4 hours, they kick everybody out of the building, they clean it up a little bit, and then everybody gets back into line in your queue. And then if you have a ticket for session number 2, you're allowed to come back in. Once again, if you have a VIP or a premium VIP, they have a separate line for those people, and they get to go in first. You do not get to stay in Access if you have a ticket from session 1 and you also have a ticket from session 2. You do not get to stay both times. You don't get to say I have a ticket and they don't let you stay in there. Everybody has to evacuate. So there also has to be a part of your plan that when you're looking at lines, if you have a session 1 and a session 2, basically you want to get to a point when you're done with session 1 and you say, okay, I need to go re-queue. You actually have to leave Access and you get back in the line for Access, so you can hold your spot so that once you're able to go back in, you're not waiting, you know, behind thousands of people to get in before you. WrestleMania Access has sold out. I went to the session in New Orleans. I believe it was the Saturday afternoon. That thing was fucking packed. I mean, honestly, and I think the WrestleMania Access before WrestleMania in Atlanta, that must have sold out. Those were as busy as I've ever seen it. When I went to that session before WrestleMania in Atlanta, that was because Access was actually held like right at the Georgia Dome in the convention center, and they shared the same parking lot, so why not show up early and go to Access? I actually got into the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat line, and that was the only person that I met in the second half of Access before we had to leave and you know, go get into WrestleMania for the big show that we were all there to see. You know, when I went to the New Orleans Saturday afternoon and that one was sold out, I think I met two people, and that was it. I mean, basically they told me that it was an hour and a half wait in to get into the memorabilia. It was an hour wait to get into the Undertaker graveyard. There wasn't that much longer left in the session, so there was nothing that I was able to do other than get out of Access and get into line. There are people who love Access. I love Access. I love meeting the people, but if there's other things to do, you know, I'm going to do other things over Access. I think that WrestleCon is really fun. it does cost a lot of money. I mean, up front with WrestleCon, you have to pay $32 just to get in, which does not entitle you to anything other than, you know, giving you the right to go up to guys and, you know, pay their fee. Once you get into WrestleCon, you know, most wrestlers on average will cost like $20 to $30 for an autograph and picture combo. I will say closer to 30. Most guys want $30 for a combo. And if there's somebody on that list that, you know, like I've met a lot of guys going to that because there's not big conventions here in Sacramento. So, you know, like a guy like I didn't meet John Morrison because he wanted too much money last year, or Molina. But like, you know, that like when else am I going to meet John Morrison or Molina? So you have to sort of put that into your focus of when am I ever going to get a chance to meet these guys again. And when you look at the WrestleCon list, and I've been going since WrestleMania 28, the same names appear there over and over and over again. And I think I've finally come to terms with this is the year that I'm going to meet Kevin Nash, because I've never gotten a picture, I've never gotten an autograph from him. I wasn't going to meet him last year. He wasn't really on my list of guys, but he's always been on those, you know, hey, you know, if the opportunity comes, I do want to get a picture with him someday. But honestly, when I went up to Kevin Nash at WrestleCon, he pointed me to start a line because he was busy eating a burrito bowl. And I basically looked at it, you know, if he's not going to take a break from his burrito bowl for me to hand him $40 to give me a picture and an autograph, which is more than likely going to take 2 to 3 minutes of his day, then fuck him. You know, basically that's what it comes down to, and maybe he'll get my money next year. But, you know, there's a lot of guys at WrestleCon that you only get to see. That's your one chance. Some guys cost a lot of money at WrestleCon. I think it's out of this world for somebody like Shawn Michaels to be charging $150 for a picture and an autograph. Maybe 100, but 150 is kind of excessive, and that's just me. And you, like I said, maybe Shawn Michaels is never going to come to your town, and this is your only chance to meet him. So you got to buckle up to the bar, and you got to pay the man. But I like AXXESS. If you guys have any more questions about AXXESS or WrestleCon, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. More than likely, I'll probably get back to you today because I ain't really doing nothing right now. But and we'll go from there. If you guys need another video because I wasn't thorough enough, let me know, and I'll tell you anything you want to know. Don't text me your phone number, or don't tweet me your phone number and tell me to call you, because that's kind of weird. But if there's anything else you need, let me know, and I'll get back to you guys. See you guys down the road.